This is how our ancestors resolve any misunderstanding. The year is 1089 in England. More than 20 years have passed since King William the Conqueror sent his troops to the north of the country to unleash a campaign of blood and destruction. It was known as the Harrying of the North. Around 100,000 Saxon warriors died by the orders of Count Duran, the most feared warlord of William. In this way, he gained complete control of the north. Alongside his sons, Lord Artus and Lord Romain, the few who survived the massacre now live in constant fear and anguish. Only a miracle can save them. In this desolate land, a mysterious man makes his way to the remains of a destroyed village. A group of guards soon appears, demanding tribute for traveling through Duran's territory. The man complies by taking out a coin and also a sword. In the blink of an eye, the warrior finishes off the guards, not without first making it clear to them that death is their only payment. And that's how we come to know the Shadow Walker, a warrior as enigmatic as his nickname who roams the north with a purpose: revenge. In their fortress, Lord Artus and Lord Romain witness the arrival of a messenger knight, his guards slain, while Romain prefers to wait for his father's return. Artus reminds him that they are the ones in charge in his absence. This problem is theirs. Following the trail of blood, Romain finds the other victims of the Shadow Walker, who is now heading to a desolate refuge, where he places a guard's pendant next to a Saxon totem. By the time Romain and his men arrive, the Walker had already left. Frustrated, the Lord destroys the totem, saying those things are just meaningless superstitions. As he walks, the protagonist senses another presence in the environment. Someone is watching him. The warrior continues until he reaches an apparently abandoned farm. However, the cauldron is still boiling. The wanderer uses this to get some food, and that was his mistake. As soon as he looks up, he's surrounded by farmers more focused on killing than farming, under orders from their leader's daughter, Anna. The farmers knock him out. Upon waking, the wanderer finds himself tied to a barn, from which he observed Anna being stalked by the Count's guards. If you're wondering about her companions, they haven't left her alone. They're watching everything, although it's not time to attack yet. In turn, Lord Romain asks Anna who killed his men, but she responds with spit. Annoyed, the Lord gives his henchmen free rein to have fun with the woman, so she asks her father to look the other way. Just before the tragedy, someone pelts the guard with stones. It's the wanderer. The script set him free. With nothing but his fists, the protagonist crushes the guards and then faces Romain with a sword. Both the farmers and Anna watch the fight, preferring not to intervene. It's not like the wanderer needs help, as he easily subdues the Lord. Just then, Anna lunges at him with the intention of killing him, although the Walker stops her. It turns out he has other plans for the Lord, an eye for his life. Having done that, the Walker demands that she tell her father that the gods can no longer wait. What does he mean? We will soon find out. First, the wanderer goes to Anna, who was mourning her father's death, and asks for his weapons back. But instead of leaving, the warrior ends up helping her dig a grave for her father. After reliving his worst memories in dreams, the protagonist wakes up only to be hanged by the farmers, who blame him for the death of their leader. Nevertheless, seeing how much he endures, a warrior named Trident cuts the rope that was killing him, not because he wanted to, but on orders from Anna, the new leader of the group. She reminds them that this man saved her life last night, and also taught Romain a lesson. They had never seen anyone overcoming Duran's forces before. It was always them who fell before the tyrant. The Shadow Walker might be what tips the balance in their favor. Despite the farmer's mistrust, the protagonist stays to help and rebuild her home, while she tends to his wounds. Changing the scene, Count Duran finally returns home after his conquest campaign in France. Seeing Romain is now one-eyed, the Count scolds his sons for their failure. How can one man cause so much havoc? Well, that man sent a message: the gods can't wait. Those words resonate in the Count's mind, as he heard them from his brother Marin when he murdered him in cold blood to usurp his throne. Faced with such betrayal, Marin warned him the gods would punish him, to which he replied he'd have to wait for a surprise. The wait is over. Returning to Anna's farm, she is informed by her men that Artus is burning their homes. The traveler immediately launches into the attack, taking advantage of the fact that Lord doesn't have many escorts. or so he thought. Likewise, the protagonist doesn't stop, and his companions follow his example. Together they break through the guard's barrier and unleash a relentless battle in which they are outnumbered, though not by much, as the other farmers are encouraged to fight thanks to the walker's spirit. Upon being overwhelmed, Artus opts for retreat, but is struck by a farmer's arrow. Despite the win and their hostage, Trident thinks Durant will send his army after them. Anna doesn't deny it, although she also shows him how strong they can become under the walker's leadership. For the first time in their lives, they have a real opportunity to overthrow the tyrant. The local tribes soon hear the news and join the protagonist, thus swelling their ranks. Through an informant, Count Duran learns that his son Artus is a prisoner. For that reason, he refuses to send more soldiers to King Guillermo, as his priorities have changed drastically. However, he subdues the Lord before his brother and makes him confess his father plans to attack in days. Consequently, the protagonist kills Artus, earning Romaine's eternal hatred. Knowing that war is approaching, the farmers sharpen their weapons and improvise a fortress with what they have on hand. The soldiers may surpass them in weaponry, but never in ingenuity. Afflicted by the death of his son, the Count prays to God for answers. Who is hiding behind the walker? Why is he so determined to overthrow him? Those answers will come in due time. As night falls, the farmers celebrate their last moments of peace, except for the walker, who prefers to retreat to his hut to sharpen his weapons. Anna notices his absence and quickly visits him to show him her concept of peace, one that requires both of them to undress. You know what happens next. In dreams, the wanderer recalls the day his life changed, witnessing his father's murder by his uncle, Count Duran. All this time, the wanderer was the facade of the legitimate prince of the north. However, he's not doing this for a throne, but for his father, Marin. Without vengeance, his soul won't rest in peace. The next day, the protagonist is awakened by his companion's cries. Duran's army has arrived with surprise. 6 Vikings from Scandinavia, 6 merchants of death who, once they enter combat, there is no way to stop them. In other words, they are berserkers. These beasts are the first to attack, so the farmers try to stop them with arrows. It doesn't work. With no other option, the walker orders his men to retreat so the berserkers focus only on him. In this way, he lures them into the forest, where he hunts them down one by one. Ingenuity over strength. However, the next warrior makes it harder for him. Upon hearing the walker's cries, Anna immediately heads in his direction, regardless of the retreat orders. No sooner does he finish off a berserker than the protagonist is surprised by another, whom he also manages to subdue, not without superhuman effort, of course. Just then, another warrior presents himself. This one is not a berserker, but a Count Duran. The wanderer was eagerly waiting to face him. The gods are hungry. It's good that they will be quite satisfied. After an exchange of blows, the wanderer manages to mortally wound Duran and finishes him off with the same daggers with which he killed his father. It is then that he reveals his identity has fallen into the hands of his nephew. Due to his father's delay, Lord Artus deduces that his father has died, so he prepares his men for the final assault. In the forest, the wanderer was aimlessly roaming when Anna stops him with a warning arrow. Having witnessed his fight against the Count, she accuses him of using the farmers in his personal vendetta, only to abandon them. In the end, the protagonist, indifferent, admits she's right. Revenge is all that matters to him. Having said that, he continues on his way. Upon returning to his people, Anna informs them they are now completely on their own. It's not something new either. It's just that this time they must face an entire army. The death of their sentence, but at least they will full fighting. Although Romaine's first line falls in battle, the other soldiers manage to penetrate the farmer's fortress, so Anna orders the retreat. Of course, she stays to defend the retreat alongside Trident and his best men, unleashing an authentic massacre afterward. While the farmers resist as best they can, Rumai's men keep arriving. One by one, the brave rebels fall like flies. Only a miracle can save them. There is the miracle. With the wanderer back in their ranks, the farmers fight more fiercely than ever, both for the fallen and for the future of their people. Unfortunately, the protagonist, who was already badly wounded before, begins to succumb to his enemies. He is easy prey for Romaine, and he is easy prey for Anna. At the same time she pierces him with her spear, he stabs her with his knife. Has the last tyrant fallen, but at what cost? In her agony, Anna falls into the arms of the Wanderer, who laments all the death his revenge has caused. She then shows him that he is wrong. All those warriors who fell in his name actually did so for their freedom, and there is no cause more noble than that. With her last breath, she mentions that now he is also free. And so this great movie ends. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and thanks for watching.